Spoiler alert, it's diet and exercise. Hello and welcome to Monson Made This. My name is Michael, and this is the update video of this. Should have been done at least like 2 weeks ago. It's been a long time coming, but I just haven't. So here I am today, and I promised this video would come out on Saturday, and here it is now coming out on Sunday, but whatever. I just wanted to give you a little update on how my weight loss journey is going as I've been on this whole food plant-based diet weight loss experience adventure. And before I get any further into this video, I just need to reiterate the title of this video, which is that it is how I lost weight on a plant-based diet or a whole food plant-based diet. It's not how you are going to lose weight or what you need to do in order to lose weight. This is how I have, what I've been doing, what's been working for me. And the tips that I'm going to share with you are just what I've come up with because of my experiences over the last, I guess it's been a little over a month now. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm none of those things. I'm just a person who has wanted to lose weight for quite a while, who has struggled to find the thing that would work for him, and who has found something that seems to be doing well. And so I'm just sharing my experience with you, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are equally not scientists or doctors or I don't know why scientists is coming out today. Doctors, nutritionists, dietitians are going to have comments or opinions about what I'm saying, but whatever. So I'm going to give you my updated weight. Today is the 9th of January, or Saturday is the 9th of January. So it's the first day of this experiment started on December 6th, so it's just been a little bit over a month. So without further ado, let me give you my current weight loss update. So on December 6th, I weighed 221.3 pounds. As of January 9th, 2021, I am at 209.7 pounds, and I have done the math. I just don't have it right in front of me. I think it's 11.6 pounds loss. I'll put it on the screen here. But that is what I have lost in just a little bit over a month. Now, I knew going into this that there was no such thing as any type of magic food or magic calories. I chose whole food plant-based because I was already vegan. And I wanted to eat in a way that I thought would help me control what I ate overall. So I thought by eating more whole foods, less processed foods, less foods that have like refined flours or refined sugars, that would help me to avoid cravings, avoid going into sort of like binge eating craze where I just shovel things into my mouth thoughtlessly. And I knew that it wasn't going to be like, eat these foods and everything is just going to magically happen for you. I knew that it was still going to be a conscious effort. But again, being vegan, wanting to try to curb cravings, try to get myself to a point where I would consume lower calories overall. Even though maybe some of my meals might be a little bit more high calorie than some of you are used to seeing in terms of weight loss. But overall, my goal is to just eat better food so that I felt better, so that I ate less overall. So these 5 tips that I have for you, I think are just something that I've come up with after this month and what I believe has helped me and the understanding I have about what's been working. So here is the first one. Do not make foods you don't want to eat easier to eat than the foods you do want to eat. Now, I'm the kind of person that will go to the grocery store, spend a bunch of money on fresh fruits and vegetables and all of this, quote unquote healthy food or the foods that I want to eat. And then I'm so hungry when I get home that I just reach for the bag of chips because that's easier to eat because it's immediate, it's right there, than all the veggies and produce and things like that I need to prep. So I've really tried to have the foods that I'm wanting to eat ready to go in the fridge just so I can throw it together so that it's just as easy as opening up a bag of chips. I mean, not as easy, but theoretically just as easy. So if you watched my last video, I think it was, where I made my perfect bowl, that's an example of how I've been eating and how I just have beans ready to go in the fridge, grains ready to go in the fridge. Veggies aren't exactly cut up per se, but they can go from fridge to bowl very quickly. Things can be a little bit more complicated if I want to make it into a soup, which will be one of the next videos, or if I want to just be a little bit more creative, there is the room for that, but I always make sure that I have foods that I want to eat ready to go so that I can quickly grab them, make a meal, satisfy myself in the same amount of time that it would have been to eat something that I don't necessarily want to eat. I also have stopped buying chips, but I live in a house with a partner who is still eating chips, who's still eating the foods that I'm trying to avoid. And they're in the house, they're in the cupboards. I could easily open the cupboard right now, although he has been buying chips that are like cheese-based because he's vegetarian, not vegan, so that's a deterrent as well because I'm not going to eat a chip with cheese or dairy in it, but that is beside the point. So my rule number one, rule is not the right word, my first tip is just to make sure that you make the foods you do want to eat as easy to eat or easier to eat than the foods you don't want to eat. I've talked about this in the last couple of videos, but I'm focusing on a grain, a bean, a veggie, a green, and a seed. The seed is a whole plant fat. It can be nut butters, it can be avocado, it can be anything that is a form of fat in its whole plant form. And by constructing meals, making sure that I'm checking off all those boxes and getting all of those items, it's basically the crowd out method, which I mentioned in my How to Go Vegan Overnight video. And the idea is that if I'm making a meal and I'm saying it has to have grains, it has to have beans, it has to have a veggie, it has to have greens, it has to have some sort of whole plant fat, there really isn't much room left after that for anything else. So it's crowding out other foods that I might want to eat because I'm making sure that I have specific foods in my diet or at each meal. That doesn't mean that I don't still have like some whole wheat bread with some peanut butter on it or like avocado toast. But even with avocado toast I've been making lately, I've been trying to make sure that I add, some sprouts on top, or I'm trying to still check off all of the boxes, maybe mixing some beans in with the avocado. So I'm still checking all of the boxes, and it's just been helping me to not eat the foods I don't want to eat, and to, instead of saying no, 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 it's saying make sure you have this, make sure you have this, make sure you have this. And that works for me. If it's not delicious, you're doing it wrong. And I mean this for two specific reasons. One of them is that I haven't had a cheat day. So it's been a little over a month and I haven't had a cheat day. I haven't had a day where it's like, okay, I've been so good all this time eating all these foods that I want to eat that I get to have a day where I indulge and I don't care. And I haven't had that because I feel that the foods that I am eating regularly, I am having a good amount of avocado and peanut butter and foods that I find are slightly indulgent, that I never feel like I need to rebel against my diet or that I've earned something. I feel that every meal I'm making sure it's delicious and satisfying and makes me feel good, so that I want to eat more of that food instead of saying, this is the diet food, this is me being good, so I've earned something else. Secondly, I feel like that's important because I never have this falling off the wagon mentality. I don't have the feeling like I'm giving something up so that I can, I don't know, I find a lot of people that have very strict diets, say starch-based diets, where they're eating nothing but unseasoned potatoes, or they have a very restrictive diet, which one would argue that what I'm eating is very restrictive as well. But I find that a lot of people have such a hyper-restrictive, no-fat, high-starch diet that they end up rebelling against themselves and they fall off the wagon and then they feel guilty. And it's a constant struggle to get back there when it's sort of unattainable for a lot of people. I'm not saying that people aren't successful eating that way, but from my experience, you fall off the wagon really quick. You feel like you're being good, and then you start eating things that you didn't want to eat because you were so restrictive of what you were only allowing yourself to eat, and then you feel guilty. So then you I need to get back on track again tomorrow, and it's this constant treadmill that you're falling off of and needing to get back on. And if you're making food that tastes good and making food that you're enjoying, then you don't have that wagon per se. I don't know if I said there's two, but there's actually three reasons. Again, why I say if you're not enjoying the food, you're doing it wrong. Third one is sustainability. So there will come a point when I reach my theoretical goal. Right now, I just want to be below 200. So I started out at 220. I'm at around 221. I'm around 209 now. So I'm a little over halfway there, or about halfway there to my theoretical goal. So then what happens when I've reached that goal? What happens when I say, okay, you know what? This is where I want to be. This is the weight that I would like to see myself at for a long period of time. Then what? Do I continue to eat the diet foods that I've used to lose weight, or do I just abandon that and go back to eating the foods I was before? But because I'm enjoying the foods that I'm eating and I feel satisfied and I feel that they're satiating and delicious, I don't feel like I need to I'm not counting down the days until I can eat other foods again. I'm enjoying what I'm eating. And I definitely think that at least 75, 80, if not more percentage of my meals going on indefinitely will be the same style. Sure, I want to enjoy Thai takeout or something that's, full of nice and refined carbohydrates and fried foods. Yeah, I want to enjoy that. I'm excited for a vegan chicken sandwich, fried chicken sandwich. But that doesn't mean that most of the other time, the other, I don't know how many meals one eats in a week aren't this whole food plant-based style that I've been eating. So I think that in the future, by eating the foods that I'm liking now, that I will continue to be able to eat these after I've reached my goal. So again, reiterate it. If you're not eating the foods you like, if it's not delicious, if you're not enjoying it, you're doing it wrong. I only eat when I'm hungry. And the goal of this was to eat foods that are satisfying and satiating and make me feel good so that I don't feel hungry in between meals. I don't feel like I need to graze. I don't get hangry. I feel satiated and I can feel hunger coming on, which I never really experienced before because it was always like I was either too full because I ate too much because I couldn't stop eating, or I was starving because I hadn't eaten in a long time. And I don't really feel those extremes anymore. I don't eat too much because I've eaten some type of food that triggers me to continue to eat and eat and eat without any thought. And I've also been eating foods that make me feel satisfied for a long period of time so I don't get that drop off and oh my God, I need to eat immediately. So I can feel real hunger for the first time in a very long time. I understand what that feeling is. And yeah, because I'm trying to eat fewer calories overall, I do push it. I do try to eat fewer meals. But between those meals and after those meals, I feel great. So I only eat when I'm hungry. I feel like I understand what hunger is, and eating these whole plant foods has made me feel the right way so that I'm not triggered to eat more, and I don't get the drop off that make me just need to immediately satisfy that hunger with whatever's around. I can be more conscientious and thoughtful. The last one sounds kind of strange, but I'm very motivated by time. When I do my jogs, as I said, spoiler alert, this is about diet and exercise. I set a timer when I go and jog. I'm trying to beat those times. When I was a teacher in the classroom, I tried to do everything by time. If any of my students are watching now, they would know that pretty much everything I did, I set a timer for. We're gonna do this for 5 minutes. We're gonna do this for 20 minutes, or you have this much amount of time. And I just really, as a person, I enjoy that. And it's a control thing, I guess. Or moreover, it's the ability to know when something is going to be up makes me be able to endure it longer. I think there's a line in Kimmy Schmidt where it's you can do anything for 15 seconds. And once that 15 seconds is up, you go another 15 seconds. And everything is bearable in these increments. And that's the kind of thought process behind this 20-minute timer that I set. And I don't know if I said the rule up front or what, but basically what I do is after I eat a meal, I feel good. I know that that's as much as I want to eat. I understand calorically how much I'm ingesting. And there's still some times when it's you know what, go grab a handful of cashews. You know what, you can just have a little something extra. And what I do is either on my phone or on the microwave timer there, I will literally set a timer for 20 minutes. And I say to myself, okay, well, you can have that handful of cashews, but you're going to wait 20 minutes for it. And the reasoning is that I've always heard that it takes 20 minutes or so for your body to feel full. So I know I've eaten food that's going to satisfy me, that's going to satiate me, that I've probably just eaten too fast, that it hasn't necessarily hit me as you've eaten enough yet. So that's why I make myself wait. I'm going to reward myself in 20 minutes. But you know what? When that 20 minutes is up, when that time is up, I normally don't want it anymore. I've moved on, I've forgotten. But instead of just eating it immediately, I say, okay, yeah, you can have it, but just in 20 minutes. there have been times, I think yesterday, for example, when after that 20 minutes, I was like, no, I still want something. And I allowed myself to have, I think it literally was a handful of cashews. I treated myself. I gave myself what I wanted. I followed the rules and made myself wait that 20 minutes. But most of the time, by the time, again, that 20-minute period is up, which the 20 minutes is arbitrary. Again, that's what I've heard it takes for your body to feel full. But yeah, usually by the end of that time, I've moved on. I'm doing something else. I don't really want it anymore. I feel satisfied. And I also feel like, cool, like you did that. Like you won that little battle. So in terms of exercise, because I did say it's been about diet and exercise, I have been still continuing to exercise just about every other day, although some days I go 2 days in a row. I've been jogging. I started out during the course of this, it's been about between like 2.5, just the last couple of days I've hit 3 miles, which is great, which is between like 30 and 35 minutes. I've also started doing push-ups, so I can do about 20 push-ups at a time. And I try to, throughout the day, maybe like 2 or 3 times in a day, try to get in 20 push-ups. Not stressing about it, not requiring a specific number, but just if I'm sitting on the couch and I'm kind of just not really doing much, I'll do some push-ups. So pretty much every day I've been doing a few push-ups. About 4, maybe, it's about 4. About 4 times a week I am going on a jog, and that's the exercise that I'm getting. It's making me feel great. I feel like it's improved it's improved a lot of things, just getting my blood flowing. And even if I'm a little bit like anxious or stressed out, there's been days when it's like, you know what, I'm going to go outside and jog for a little bit, and I usually feel better afterwards. So again, this is my experience, my journey. Things are going great, about halfway there. If you want to know more about what I'm doing, although I think I explained a lot of it in here, you can go click the link above here. It'll be at the end also for my what I eat in a week, and that's sort of the beginning, the kickoff of this whole experience. I'm going to try to keep you updated on Saturdays, but who knows, Saturdays, sometimes they're going to come out on Sunday. Anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time with another recipe video. It's going to be a soup. It's going to be like the bowl, but a soup. Oh, and there's also a kitchen gadgets video. Actually, that'll probably come out first, so I'll probably film that tomorrow, because y'all have wanted a kitchen gadget video, so that's coming. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.
Ryan Little.